Let me show you how to pay off those maxed out credit cards the smart way. Because if you just throw any random payment at it, you'll stay stuck way longer than you need to be. First thing first, we got to stop the bleeding and freeze that credit card. Lock it on an app or put it somewhere you can't touch it no more. Because let's be real, we ain't get here overnight and we not going to get out of this situation if you keep swiping like nothing is wrong. So here's the strategy. We can't attack everything at once. We're going to start with the card with the lowest balance. Why? Because we want to build some momentum. Knock one out, and that gives us motivation to keep going. Now pick a time frame to pay off this debt. Ask yourself, how fast can I realistically pay this debt off? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? But be honest with yourself. And then we gotta lock in because this part it requires discipline. That might mean less eating out, less Amazon purchases, less TikTok shop buys, because your goal is way bigger. We trying to get that house for the family. We trying to reach financial freedom. So let's run some numbers. Here's the formula. We're gonna take the balance plus the estimated interest and divide it by the months. That's gonna give us our monthly payment. So let's throw some real numbers at it. Let's say our balance is 2,400. Our APR is 24%. That's about 2% a month, and we want to do it over a 12-month period. Now the interest can be complicated, but right now let's just estimate it at $300 for the year to keep it simple. Now let's plug in those numbers. 2,400 plus 300 divided by 12 is 225 per month. That means if you pay 225 per month, you should have that card completely paid off in 12 months. But while we doing that, make sure you making a minimum payments on all your other cards. So we got to take care of that payment history. Just one late payment can set you back for months. Now, once that first card is paid off, we're going to move on to the next card with the smallest balance and do the same thing for that one. We building a serious momentum, but let's make it clear. This only works if your habits change, because if you keep spending the same way, you'll end up right back in the same place again. Now, give me a second to help you figure out how to break down interest because it could get complicated. Think of it like this: when you borrow money, the bank charges you a little bit extra for using it. That extra is called interest. The APR is your yearly interest. And the example I gave you, it was 24%. To break it into months or how much you got to pay interest a month, divide that number by 12, whatever your number is. In this case, it's 2% a month. Now, to calculate it, it'll be 2,400 times 0.02. That's 2%, and that equals $48 this month. As you pay the balance down, the interest gets smaller because you owe less money. The less you owe, the less you are charging interest. So remember this: freeze the card, pick a time frame, use the formula, stay consistent, and change your habits. We not just paying off debt, we building a version of you that can keep the result.